In a personal press conference following a 3-hour meeting with Xi following forum's opening on Wednesday, Putin said he and Chinese leader had discussed both Ukraine and Gaza conflicts in detail, but that most of talks were secret. It was pair's first meeting since the start of escalating Israel-Hamas war, which saw at least 500 people believed to have been killed overnight in a Gaza hospital just hours before U.S. President Joe Biden arrived in Israel on Wednesday. It was Putin's first visit to China since he and Xi announced an unlimited partnership between their countries, days before Russia invaded Ukraine last year. The Russian president made a rare international trip to China this week to show his support for the Belt and Road Initiative, Xi's flagship program that Beijing has touted as an alternative Western development strategies. Now entering its second decade, as Chinese President Xi Jinping his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin discussed Gaza conflict, Ukraine war on the sidelines of Belt Road Forum for International Cooperation in Beijing. Xi vowed to defend fairness justice together with Russia. He also called for a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war. The attack on the hospital in Gaza is a tragedy and a humanitarian disaster. I hope this will be a sign that the conflict must end, Putin said, speaking to reporters in Beijing, adding that important actors do not want the conflict to deepen. China and Russia taking similar positions on the Israel-Hamas conflict, supporting Palestine as a legitimate state and calling for a humanitarian ceasefire without condemning Hamas, led to harsh criticism from the United States. The meeting between Xi and Putin was followed closely as Beijing and Moscow tightened ties amid rivalry with the West. He also claimed that Ukraine was considering entering into negotiations with Russia. In an earlier bilateral meeting, Xi told Putin that China would work with Russia to show their responsibilities as great countries. According to a statement from state broadcaster CCTV, we will make our best contribution to accelerate development revival of two countries, uphold international justice and justice, advance common development of world, Xi said. According to a statement from the Kremlin, Putin said Russia would seek close foreign policy coordination with China under the current difficult conditions. Beijing and Moscow have hardened their stance against Israel's actions in recent days. Putin called them cruel and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang said they went beyond the scope of self-defense. They strengthened their calls for a ceasefire, with China sending its special envoy the region to mediate and Putin calling Middle East leaders in an attempt to ease tensions. During his meeting with Xi, Putin praised success of the Belt and Road Initiative over past decade. Xi thanked him for attending an important diplomatic event in China and promised to strengthen cooperation with Russia. Political M.